this coronavirus, everything seems like yesterday.
That's true.
Yeah, it's weird.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And what I am going to show you, okay, you know how, I mean, when we have a document that you have to download from the MLS, like the properties, like what you all call it, the RPD, right? The residential property disclosure. If I say we call it seller disclosure down here. So if I'm trying to call it what you all call it, but if you hear me say seller disclosure, that I apologize. And so RPD, I'm going to try to remember that. But that or the lead-based paint, where if you download and upload, you have to add in all the signatures and stuff. But if you have the listing, there's already a template already in there for it. So you don't have to add in the boxes or stuff. So what I'm going to show you is when you download a document from the MLS, or you can upload any kind of document that, for instance, Troy sent me this document of an RPD that's already filled out from the seller. Okay, so it's like I'm the buyer's agent and I want my buyers to sign this, but I don't want to go in and put in initial here, got to reduce it down and how it is. So what I'm going to do is, let me go back to, look, this is a test room anyway. So what I would do is I would go to envelopes, because I want to upload a document. And when you upload documents, you upload it in envelopes. In the documents, you add them from the room, or all the documents from what your board has. So if you upload other documents, you upload it in envelopes. Okay. So next, you click here, you click New, up in the top right. And then I want to call this RPD, because this is what I'm wanting to send to my client. And I have to upload it from the computer because it's not in Docusign yet. It's because I just downloaded it from the MLS, and then I'm uploading this.
I'm sorry, how do I get to envelopes?
You click on, let me go back, save and close. Envelopes, are you on the screen right here? This says Docusign Rooms.
No, I'm on settings.
Click right here where your picture is on the top right. When you click on that, does it say down here, does it say switch to e-signature or switch to rooms? Because you want to be in rooms. Do you see where I'm saying to look for this?
I'm looking. I'm not finding, but I'm looking.
Okay, up at the very top right corner, up here, should be your name and your picture. Up in the top far right corner.
Yeah, okay, I see that.
Okay, click on that.
On my name or on one of the symbols?
On the circle. And then does it say down here, do you see where it says switch to e-signature? Does yours say switch to rooms?
If I'm on the right screen, it's saying help and information.
Wait a minute, let me see something.
So I might not be where you are.
Is this what you see?
No.
Okay.
Okay, leave me behind, go on with the other people, and I'll try and catch up. I'll start from the beginning.
Okay, I want you to see, once you're in a room and you click on envelopes.
Okay.
And I've already just started it, so let me pull it back up. So what I want to do, as you remember, like I'll click on the view. This that I opened up is the one that the listing agent put on the MLS. So it has all the seller's information, but it does not have the buyer's information on there yet. So but we have a template already set up for the RPD. So if you click on these 3 dots down here in the bottom corner of this square, and if you click on it, it says apply template. When you click on that, you need to choose which template that you want to click on. So I'm going to scroll down that says residential. Find it. This one right here, the residential property disclosure. I'll click on that and add selected. Then down here, I need to add the recipient, and I'm going to click on the pre-tagged roles. Now, I need to make sure that under my details, I have my buyer's names already in there. Let me go back to show you that. So under the details, this is a buyer's side. So I don't have the seller, so I don't put down the seller. I'm not the listing agent. I have buyer 1 here. I have as Donald Duck, and then I have Daisy Duck as buyer 2. You need to make sure that you have an email address for them. And I can go in and put in here my information too, I think, if it'll allow, since I don't know if I'm. But going back to envelopes, under this draft, I want to put it down here under the add recipients, the pre-tagged roles. And so I want to add the purchaser 1 and 2. So I'm going to put Donald in, and then I'm going to put Daisy in as my purchaser and add selected. And from here, since I've clicked on apply template, when I come up to next, you're going to see in here, it automatically puts in my tags because I applied this template for what my buyers are going to initial.
Jennifer, when you grabbed that template, it appeared as if there was several other, if not many other residential property disclosure ones. Will we see that same large list?
That's under my templates. Let's see. Let me go back.
So would we have to create this? Are you suggesting we create a
the
template on
office,
our own?
No, the office will share the template with you.
Okay.
And it would be under, let me go back. If I discard it, let me try doing it again. Apply template. Yours would be under the shared with me.
Okay.
And I don't, because this is the office one, I don't know what you all see under the shared with me.
Okay.
But it should be under that one. And these are the ones that were created. So that's the only reason why I went into this.
I see. Okay. So we won't see that extensive list.
No, you would see what yours is in there.
Gotcha.
If you create your own. But going back in there and click on, I know that this is the most recent one, is the one that I create. Or I didn't create, but that I want to use.
Okay, thank you.
Not a problem. And again, click. I just not too long ago found out about this feature, and I think that's a really, really cool feature. Now, if you had in there the tagged roles, if I put in there the seller also, it's going to have, because I discarded it, it's not going to show it this time. That's what happened to me last night. So, but you saw it before. It had in there. Let me go back. I'm going to do a new one. I'm going to discard this one entirely and upload it again. Because, let me remove it and add it again. But in here, okay, let me go back. If in here I go, and I have the seller's information in here also, under the edit, I'll say I'm going to put okay, and put I didn't mean to do that. Okay. Okay, so if I have in here the sellers also, but the sellers have already filled it out. Let me go back up to envelopes. But I just want the buyer to do it. I'm going to create a new form. Go under the more, upload it. So right now I only am putting the purchasers in there, but if I had the sellers in there also, it's going to add in there. I'm just going to do one. Let's see if it will allow me to do many, or just do at least do Mickey. And if I add in this RPD, see this one here. And then click on next. I didn't do that. I'm going to have to start it totally back. Deleting it, it has an issue having you put it back in. So I'm going to start a totally new envelope.
Is a Docusign room the equivalent of a dot loop?
Yes.
Okay.
And regarding under the documents, the documents would be where all of the board documents are.
Okay.
So if you fill in the details, it will autofill. Let me see, close. I'm going to delete this and start it over.
Do you personally feel this is easier to use than dot loop or equivalent?
It has, to be perfectly honest with you, okay, Our MLS pays for our dot loop, not the Market Center.
Mhm.
So it's not coming out of our pockets to continue with dot loop.
Mhm.
But I have for you all, and also for we have a group in Ashland now that's starting associated with our office that does not have dot loop, and they use what's called Authentisign.
Okay.
So so they cannot connect up to Command because Authentisign is not a program. So if they want to connect up, they're going to have to use Docusign also. So I am learning Docusign. I've been learning for a while now, but I'm not actively using it like you all are yet. But I'll tell you, the more I learn about Docusign, the more I really like it.
Okay.
There's just a learning curve, but you didn't learn dot loop immediately. You know, I mean, there's a learning curve to it. To me, the biggest learning curve is that under documents, you can pull up documents that the board has that you can, and what you put under details here will go into the documents. And then the envelopes is where you will take those documents and send it out for signatures.
Okay.
But the templates that your office has that is not in the board, so there may be other documents that your Market Center has, but the board does not. It would be under envelopes, and it would be under templates. One thing that we are working on is to make it so that it's super easy. All you do is click. So we're in the process of trying to get that done for you all. So, but I'm going to show this again how. And this is one feature that dot loop does not have.
The template feature is what you're saying.
Well, you have templates in dot loop, but as far as applying a template, so
Okay.
in the dot loop or Docusign world, we have a template for the RPD, and then all you do is you go here and you assign which template that you want to use. Now, if for any reason, let's say I'm doing an RPD that has, I only have 3 pages, and what is your all's 5? Is that right?
Yeah, 5.
Okay. Where's residential? Let me find it again. This one. That it's not going to recognize it because it's going to need to be 5 pages.
Okay.
Okay. And then you go down here to add recipient again, the pre-tagged roles already that I want to put in Donald and Daisy as a purchaser. That they're in here ready to sign. I've already applied the templates and click next. I mean, I just think this is a really cool feature. And another really cool feature that I showed on, was it last week or Wednesday? Oh, here you go. These are back. This is what was downloaded from the MLS, and it put it. Now, there may be a chance that what's in the MLS, you know how agents can scan and upload. If it does not come up, you may have to adjust it a little bit. Like this may be like, oh, okay, this needs to go down a little bit, but all you need to do is move it down or adjust it however that you want. But it's already there.
It kind of looks like they'd be overlapping. Would it be if they sign it?
It kind of looks like it, but
well, on the initials, that one's not too bad, but the initials really.
It's still overlapping. I mean, but it looks like so. But for me, it looks like what they do is this is where this line down here is where the signature is going to be, and it's not necessarily going to be this tall, but you can take this and move it down if you want to make it smaller.
I mean, I guess I'd want to see if they overlap if they were left that way. But-
Well, let me go back. Let me put it back the way it was, like this. In essence, that's what it is. You can go up here to Recipient Preview to see what they're going to see. And you click on Start, and there'll be like initial, to see where. That's what, because it goes over it, but the signature may not necessarily go over. Do you see that? Because the box has it going how high this box is.
Right.
So when Daisy signs, it will probably go to about right here. Like,
But then see the Docusign by at the bottom, is that going to be on top of the other signature?
it could. So so you can adjust it if you want.
And then the name Donald Duck on the template, like what if they have a really long name? Would they be able to finish typing in their name?
It automatically puts it in there.
Okay,
Because
okay,
if you
so
can
that's
see right
already
here, it
set.
says, yes, it says full name.
Okay,
So the full name is the full name as it is in the details.
okay, so that will extend and contract as needed with the
But
template.
to be very honest with you, I would think that if you know for a fact that somebody has a really long name, because it does, Donald Duck goes further than what this is right here.
Right.
It goes, and then the date sign, as you saw, it goes to about over here. The date signs are pretty lengthy. So if you know somebody that has a very long name, you can go in here and you can move it over some.
Okay.
So
And
is
what you
the,
can do when you go to the recipient preview and click on the sign again, you can see how far over does that go. Do you need to move it over?
when they sign it, does that date signed automatically go in there, or do they have to click on that?
It will automatically, as soon as they click on right here that says sign,
Okay,
it'll automatically come up
okay.
on the time that they sign. And another feature that if you are OCD like me, like you see how these two boxes are kind of off, let's say like right there, and you want them like up and down to each other, if you highlight both boxes, and it doesn't have to necessarily be entirely, like if you just go like this, do partial, it will highlight over here on the right, you can line them up. It looks like that I increased this box a little bit when I was adjusting.
Okay.
I just think it's like I said, this is something that Dotloop does not have. And another thing with Dotloop on this document in particular, and Angela has worked really hard in doing this, but you know how on here, let's see, on this document right here, if yes, explain. And you know how some sellers, clients don't necessarily add in there. Let's see, let me find one to see if in here. It says no, 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 no. It says no. Nope. This one may not have the right, but on any of these, one thing that Dotloop does not have, but Docusign does, if somebody clicked on the yes, there will be a box that comes up here automatically that will require them. They cannot move forward unless they type in here, which is a really, really neat feature that Dotloop does not have. Anybody else have a question, or is there something that you all want me to point out, or if you have any questions about Docusign altogether?
I keep muting myself because my dog's barking at the neighbor dog.
Okay.
But the
That's why I'm at the office, because my dogs would bark too.
in Dotloop,
Uh-huh.
I could set up my own forms and
Yes.
pull from that. and have, you know, the agent's name in it, their license number, all that kind of stuff, and that's already set in there. Now, I get that we've got overlays, but is there a way we can do that with a form and then do the overlay?
Yeah, well, it depends on the document. If it's from the board documents, let's see.
It'd be anything like a contract, the RPD, the MLS worksheet, it'd be all the contracts.
Right. Let me go back to room. I mean, if it's when you pull a document, like if you add a document to Docusign form, let's just assume some of those will already be on here. Let me see if there's something.
Like when you go to pull a document to put in, can I have mine saved that I pull from? Or
Yes,
do you have to pick that library and stuff?
If you customize one for yourself that you want to do every time, it would be under, you can go under here, I think this is it, and you switch to e-signature.
We didn't have that. I tried that when you were telling Heather. We don't have that when we click on that circle.
Really? Okay, because I have it on mine.
Like I'm logged in under Jack, and when I clicked on his picture, it doesn't give that. Now I was not in Docusign Rooms. That's probably why. I was in Opportunities under Command, so that's why.
Okay.
So
yeah, under the rooms, you have the choice to go down here that says switch to e-signature.
Okay.
And this is where you create templates.
Okay.
So you can click on the switch to e-signature. But I will tell you, we are trying to do it so that you have all you open up and it's just the minimum of everything
that we need.
Correct. Yeah. Or that you don't have to do very many steps.
Right.
But if you click on templates right here.
Oops. Because I see my templates and wondered, is that where those would be that I fixed and could pull from every time?
Yes. And you pretty much only have to do it once. Once you put it in there.
And do you know if for Teams, have they fixed it so that, well, I guess that's more in Command.
Yeah.
Not a Docusign question.
As far as the DocuSigns for Teams, I have heard from other trainers what they have done, and admins too. If they have a team, the admin will go in and they will customize the templates for each of their team members. So that, but you would have to go in, and it's pretty much a matter, I think you can copy and then move it over to the other and make whatever adjustments that you need to make. Like adding in a person's name, their license number, and those kind of features. But they would each have their own. But I think what we're trying to play around with how, you would pull up a list of how you see in Dotloop, how you can pull up the buyer folders, and just move over whatever. You can do that, but I don't know because there's some that are in documents and some that are in the envelopes, because your office documents are in envelopes under the templates. But I think what we're going to try to do is make it so that they're all together in one.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
Because the ones that the office requires should be in our office ones that we click from, whether it's a board form or office form. But
yeah, and the only thing about that is, if you do it that way, what you put in details will not auto populate into them. So, because right now, the way that DocuSign set them up is if whatever you put in details will auto populate the address, the names, and whatever information, and then you fill in the rest of the information, like.
Oh, so then it won't auto-populate if you try to.
Correct.
Oh, well then.
And it's like, but the way that you set it up, you can set up, like if you create a template, let's see, do I want to do it in here? I don't want to mess up their forms.
Yeah.
Let's see. Under this one, as an example, go under edit. Then go to next. I need to put in. But in here is like, if you put this right here, this address, you can make the template so that when you click on that, and over here on the data label, you can put in here how they have address. So once you, and then on this next page, this data label will have address also. So every time, and each of these up at the top will have the data label says address. So when you go into the template and you type, all you have to do is type it in here one time. Each of these labels that has the same label right here is going to auto-populate into all of them. Does that make sense? So
Yeah.
if I type in the address one time in here, it's going to put the address in all the other ones that has the data label as address.
But you're saying if we wouldn't do it that way and you just pick the form, it automatically auto-populates from details.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And then all you would do from there is fill in all the other information. Like in this document right here, you would not auto-populate anything else, but you would in the exclusive right to sell,
right,
or in the purchase contract or offer to purchase.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Go back to rooms. And if you noticed, just because I went in there, I didn't make any changes. Let me switch back to e-signature. That it has a new residential property disclosure. Go back to templates. Because every time you open it up, it's going to create a new. See, I had this one's at 142. It will tell you that I last made change. I didn't make any changes, but every time you go into it, it will tell you this is the last time that you went into it. I didn't make any changes, but it's saying just in case. So let me go back to rooms. But if you pull things from documents, you just want to make sure that you put enough information in the details to auto-populate over into these documents. Let's see, under the listing agent, it won't have your all's license numbers in here, but you can put in all this other information, Like you can put in the offer date, the contract amount. You can put in how much that they're holding in earnest money. And all of these are set to different documents that Docusign has set up for everyone. Now, if there's any new, like for us, we have a brand new seller disclosure that when we sent our documents out, it was with the old seller disclosure and the old consumer guide, but our board has adopted some new forms. And so for us, we can't go to documents. We've developed them in envelopes. So until Docusign, if the office sends it to Docusign to map out the right ones for these details, that will usually takes about 6 weeks. So the workaround would be in the envelopes that they will create that too.
So if they would happen to do that
Mhm.
in an envelope to create a template type of thing,
Mhm.
then does that also make it that it doesn't auto-populate because it didn't come from Docusign? So for that one, you have to
Correct,
type.
but what
Okay.
they're going to try to do is to make it as seamless as possible.
Right. Okay.
Because the last thing that they want is to put additional work on you all. Because when you know how when you go into .loop, you click, click, click. I mean, and you can do it fairly quickly. The more you go into Docusign, you're going to be just as quick in doing it. It's just a comfort level, and I think that with it, it just takes going in and doing it and practicing with it. And like I said, the more I'm going into it, the more I'm liking it a whole lot more. It's not a chore anymore, because I was sitting thinking like, but I'm also thinking on admin level. I'm a real estate agent. I'm not an admin, but going into the back office to create the templates to make it work. I try to overdo stuff to make it less, so that the agents that are pulling it up, that's less that they have to do. We want to make it as seamless as possible, and we want you all to be happy. So Angela and I are doing what we can. Anything else I can answer, or?
Well, I'm sorry, I missed most of it. I had a broker issue, so.
I'm sorry.
No, oh
What
well.
did you miss? Did you see how we were able to apply a template?
No, I did not. And that's something I need to know to do, so.
Do you want me to show you real quick?
Yeah, oh my, I would love it, yes, yes.
Okay.
Oh, good.
I'm going to jump off. Thank you so much.
You're
Me
welcome.
too. Thank
Greg.
you.
Bye,
Okay,
Greg.
bye. Have a
Bye.
good weekend.
You too.
Okay.
All right.
I am going to add, let me go back. I'm going to add a new envelope.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to delete this one. I'm going to add from scratch just so.
Oh, okay.
Let me delete this. Okay, like I was saying, this is a property disclosure that Troy, he just sent it to me. I don't know if he downloaded it from the MLS, but as if this was from the MLS where it has the seller's information in it. And since we have let me go back. Since we have the templates already in here, what we want to do is click on the wrong thing. Click on new envelope.
Oh, okay.
And then I'm going to type in here. If you don't change this, the envelope name of what you're wanting to send out, you'll have in there, please Docusign on several of them, and you'll have to go searching. So whatever that you add in here to make sense, it could be, if you have multiple documents, you can put in there like listing packets. or just the RPD and lead-based paint or whatever that it is. But I downloaded it from the MLS, and so I click on, I want to add it, so it's not in the room because it's on my computer. It's not a template, which even though there is a template there, but I'm uploading what was off the MLS. So I'll go down here to upload.
Oh.
And then I click on the document that I downloaded earlier and click on open. Okay. So here, I have the RPD. I mean, and if I click on this, you can see that it is the one with the signatures on it already from the sellers.
Okay.
So, but here, and it doesn't, let me go back, and you can see that it doesn't have anything for the buyers. Okay. So if you click on these three dots here in the bottom corner, and click on Apply Template right here. And you would probably look under here that says Shared with Me, because the office is going to share this template with you. But let me go down here to where it is, Residential Property Disclosure right here.
Okay.
And then I click on Add Selected. And so now I will show you, let me add the recipients on the pre-tagged row. So I have the buyers in this part, in this deal. So I go here to buyer 1 is Donald Duck, Daisy is buyer 2, and then click on Add Selected. So I have them in here. I have, and these are pulled from the details page. And then when I click on Next, it's like we lost Heather too. When you click on Next, when you scroll down, you can see that the initials are already down there. That you don't have to go in,
Really?
add initials or add signatures or add dates.
That's just automatic?
Well, because it's recognizing.
Oh, because you click their names.
No, because I clicked on Apply Template, because we have a template for RPD.
Okay.
And so, but on the RPD, you also have the sellers, initial sellers, but I only put on there the buyer's information. And so it's only bringing in the buyer's documents or of where the, so I don't need to go in and add initials and also.
Okay.
If you already have it in there, it will apply it anyway.
Oh.
Isn't that cool?
That's
this is something
very
that Dotloop
cool.
does
Yeah.
not, I mean, this is something that Dotloop does not do.
No, it doesn't. No, you gotta add signature and initials.
Correct.
Yeah.
But with this, if you already have a template, all you have to do is apply templates. Now, I will say, I tried it, I was playing around with it yesterday, and I had one document that, let me switch off of this, and let me go to my documents,
Okay.
or my Docusign. Let me log out. Let me go into mine. I think I did it under Gomez, maybe? So what I did under here think it's this one, where I uploaded 2 lead-based paint. One is from here that was done by Docusign or .loop or whatever, but the other was uploaded, and you could see how it's crooked, you know, but if it was straight, it would still work. But because it's crooked, when you go to next, it's not recognizing it. Or it doesn't know where to put it in a way. So when I do this feature, you can see here, this is where the signatures are, or the initials are. But on the second one, the crooked one, it did not do it. Because it does not, even though I did apply templates, it does not recognize where this is just an off. So with this one, I would have to add initial here, you know.
I see.
I would have to do it on this one. But this one, because it was not cockeyed or whatever, it does recognize it. It put all these for me.
Jen, if like with .loop, whenever I have questions, I just call them, and they're really good at, like, you know, taking care of it. Does Docusign have like a helpline that you can call?
I think so. I've not tried.
Yeah, okay. I'll have to check that out.
For me, to be honest with you, if I have questions, I go into YouTube and I look for. So I think there is. I just have not used them.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
I'll show you what our lead-based paint, our property disclosure looks like.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was going to ask you, what do you call it?
Seller disclosure.
Okay. Makes sense.
But for here, let me go to next.
As I remember, you have more information like age of furnace and stuff. I like that.
In fact, you can see.
People always ask, well, what's the age of the furnace and the air conditioner, the roof?
Have you ever lived in the house? What is the date? We have on here the age of the systems, the heating system.
Yeah, I like that.
Hot water heater.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Yeah, and some of the new stuff that they add, they have in here. I don't know if you all have it or not, but we have the HOA information in here.
We do have that in the one up here. We have that.
We now have regarding and regarding radon.
Yeah, we do. We have that. Oh, additional information.
I always look there. But for us, what I like about ours versus yours, that for the last 4 or 5 years, I've not printed off any information. I mean, I use my tablet when I go to showing, and I pull it up. And what I do is I look to say, like, does anything have yeses? I mean, I can look straight line. Okay, there's a yes. Is a property subject to rules and regulations of an HOA? Yes.
Yeah.
And so I'm looking at this column pretty much right here, like this one right here. Have you ever had the roof replaced? Yes. If so, when? And they put in 2005. But for me, I think on your alls, you have to search more, to know what to look for. For me, it's like I can go straight down this column right here to see if there's any yeses.
Yeah, you know what? I love that because those are questions, and if you're showing somebody else's listing, you don't know. And I would love that.
Mhm.
Maybe I'll work on that and see if they can update it.
Can you imagine though doing the template for this, because you have to have a box for each of these and like radio boxes. Yeah, it was fun.
Well, once it's designed, it's designed.
Pardon me?
Once it's designed, it's there.
Exactly.
You don't have to do it again, so.
Exactly.
So, Jen, under Kentucky Real Estate Commission, it said, what did it just say? Public something. Oh well, just a different form than ours. But I like that form.
Mm-hmm. Trying to think what you're talking about. Public.
Oh, it was like at that when your seller disclosure, it said Kentucky Real Estate Division, and then the next line said public something. I forget what it said. Can you pull it up again?
Yeah.
Pull up your, yeah. I want to see what it said at the top.
Oh.
Sorry. It says Public Protection Cabinet.
Mm.
Oh, they protect the public.
Yes.
Because that's what our real estate division basically does. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
That's more extensive. It looks good.
I like it. I mean, and this is a new document that we had to do ourselves. Well, that we have a template for.
Okay.
But
well, save it on a CD, bring it up here, and put it into our computer system.
And the other agents are going to say,
we all have it.
Right, all the other agents are going to say, what the heck?
What? I know. Let me get that. Well, I do like
not
that.
to come to these things.
Like I said, I'm going to try to come up next week with Nancy.
Oh, I'll be there.
You're coming what, on Wednesday?
She says she's either going to go up Wednesday or Thursday.
Okay.
If I come up Wednesday, I'm going to do my tech class there at 1 o'clock.
Okay, good.
At 1 o'clock?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
But I mean, I'm going to do it via Zoom still.
Yeah.
And then on Thursday, I have a regional tech meeting at 4. So I told her, I said, I can do that on my phone on the way back. But my only obligations right now is I have the 12 o'clock and 1 o'clock right now.
Oh, good. Okay.
So I can do that up there.
Good. Well, thank you so much. I'm going to get in there right now and practice a few things. So got to learn it.
Yeah, it's just a matter of just doing.
I know. Because I remember it wasn't that long ago we were on a call and you were asking Ryan how to do things because you were learning it and you learned it like that. So
well, and the thing is, I'm not using it very much either. So I'm always looking to see what can it do, because my thing is like I want to justify. Okay, why do we want to use Docusign? Why would it be important for you all to want to use Docusign?
Well, you explained it last time. You said that Zillow was getting all our information through Doc.
But if you hated going into Docusign,
you didn't have to. You could buy it.
Right, but I'm just saying, but if you hated it because you thought it was clunky and stuff, how can I make it better for you not to think that? You know, I mean, you, no matter, or if you hated Docusign, you wouldn't care that Zillow could get into your contacts, you know.
Well, but then they sell it to other people, and you're information can go
Right.
everywhere, you
Right.
know, and you really don't want that,
Correct.
you know. And they have your clients, so they can, you know, exploit them by selling their information.
Right.
They have name and email and address and phone.
And who's to say that they're not going to contact them?
Exactly. That's why.
Yeah. And they can use that information also to use towards their comps, like their estimates and stuff, if they see something is closed. So, I mean, it could be scary of what all the Zillow could do to it.
Well, it's not Big Brother watching you, it's Zillow that's watching you, and they can steal your information.
Correct.
That wouldn't be good, and I completely understand why Gary is doing this, but, I mean,
I had a couple co-ops within the past couple months with a couple Remax agents, and they used Docusign, and I thought, oh, if they can learn it, I can learn it. So
right.
Yeah, I think it's just that, you know, we got used to dot loop, and yeah, you know, it's
That's
like
kind of what you saying, that kind of brought me back to when I learned how to drive a stick shift when I was 16, that you had the automatics and then you had the stick shifts. And a friend of mine who is a year younger than me, that she got a new car and it was a stick shift, and I'm like, if she can do it, I can do this.
I know.
And I learned how to do it, and it was fun to drive.
Well, you know, sometimes I like to trick my brain when I'm in the shower and shave an opposite leg, you know, first, instead of like the same thing all the time. I thought, oh, I'll do the right one first. I mean, I do stuff like that, just
well, and they say that you need to do that, like, and that's just a matter of like putting your shoes and socks on, you know, like if you do the right foot every time, do the left. Yes.
Do the left foot. And I honestly, I do things like that.
Too much for me. I'll see you Wednesday.
Okay, it'll be either Wednesday or Thursday. I'm not sure what
All
day.
Okay.
I'll be on here Wednesdays regardless.
Okay. Well, I'll look
Thank you so much, Jen.
You're welcome. Y'all have a great weekend.
You too. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh, can't even get out of here. Leave. Got it. Bye.
Exit